Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Man, it's something. This audio has existed for 13 years, and we're just hearing about it. And it is a leak from the show The View. And this is back when Matt Hasselbeck's sister-in-law, Elizabeth, was on the show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and...
she was... Oh, no, I got her confused with the chick from Survivor. Was she on Survivor first before she ever... But that was that Colleen.
Oh, yeah.
She kind of reminded me of her back in those days. I don't know why.
I don't know where we knew Elizabeth from before that. I have no clue. Maybe she was on Survivor, but she was a different person. I know you're thinking Colleen...
Was she?
Because
might have been.
Colleen was in a movie with...
She was in Survivor, the Australian Outback in 2001, 2002.
Good job, Steve.
All right. Yeah, then she was Elizabeth Filarski.
Yes.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. I was a big fan.
Yeah,
that's back when I watched Survivor, and I had the hots for her.
Yeah, a lot of people did. And eventually, what was Slappy Hasselbeck?
Tim?
Tim. Tim made that happen.
Tim.
Yeah.
Tim.
So she, she ended up parlaying her survivorness onto The View, and she was the conservative one.
Yes.
They always have to have a conservative one. I think John McCain's daughter is now the latest conservative person on The View, and apparently Barbara Walters reprimanded Elizabeth, and Elizabeth was not happy about this, and it all started with a heated on-air discussion about the morning after pill.
Special situation.
Why?
This is going to be
that's a loophole in your argument.
I'm saying this. I wish that it were available. I'm not saying I don't believe it's the right thing, but this is a slippery slope to just eliminating life government.
Elizabeth, calm down, dear.
I can't. This makes me so upset, Barbara.
I know.
So that's Barbara going, calm down, but that was wrong with you.
And just lectured her on how to handle things.
So she felt that, okay, Barbara Walters, that was not cool, reprimanding her like that. So Elizabeth stormed off stage, and she, of course, still had her microphone on her while she's complaining. She doesn't really, the microphone's still on her, and she's just bitching about Barbara.
That. I'm not going to sit there and get reprimanded on the air. I am not going to get reprimanded on. No, it's not okay to sit there and get reprimanded on the air. You know what?
I know.
What the f***? Like, I'm not going back out there. I'm not going back out there.
Come into my office here.
No, I'm not going back out there.
Okay, honey.
I'm not taking it.
I hear what you're saying.
What the f***? I don't even swear. She has me swearing. This woman's driving me nuts.
I know.
That's an awesome meltdown.
That is quite a meltdown.
If she would have yelled, "We want this ball and we want to score," that would have made it even better.
That would have even been better.
In true Hasselbeck form. Wow, she was pissed.
She was pissed. Yeah, she was pissed at Barbara Walters. And Elizabeth, I know you're pissed, but it's Barbara's show. I mean, it was Barbara's baby.
Well, and also you have a microphone attached. Remember?
There's that.
They hit the off button.
You can hear, I think that was Joy Behar, like, trying to calm her down.
Yeah.
It's always like, come on to my office. Hey.
You have to be really mad to forget that you have a microphone on you.
Yeah, you really, really do.
Because I know, like, there have been a few times where we've had the microphones when we go to New Day Northwest.
Yeah.
And, sometimes when the cameras aren't on, you and Margaret just start cursing at each other. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, that's the relationship we have. It's very tumultuous, and we both were raised in the streets, so that's why we have that language.
Streets.
Yeah.
But do you have this fear, like, once they mic me, I don't know why, but my mind likes messing with me. I'm like, I got to go use the bathroom. But I can't use the bathroom now because I'm mic'd. And I don't want to. Yeah,
I've had to. And you know what? I've had to use the bathroom, and I hope that nobody can hear what nature is making happen. But what do you do? I mean, you got to go, and you're mic'd up because you can't tell them to unmic you because you got. So it's like, I'll be right back.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You might want to mute my microphone.
But I say everything to everybody, and as soon as that microphone is on me, every conversation I have is so stilted. Like people go, "Hey, what's up?" And of course it's a person who's not mic'd talking to me, and I'm like, "I am fine," because I don't want to have any video like this ever leaked because I'm a mess. I mean, anybody can look like an idiot when you don't know you're on mic.
This is great.
Oh yeah,
I love these kind of pieces of audio.
There's more
because you get to hear like the true side of that person.
Oh yeah, and so she's backstage. As you can tell, she's got the potty mouth. And Elizabeth Hasselbeck, from The View. This is 13 years old, by the way. She insists she is quitting the show. It took a producer to convince her. No, get back out there.
I quit.
What are you doing?
I'm quitting.
Why?
I don't need to be reprimanded on air like that by this woman. I will not take it on air. I'm over. They can do the I'm leaving.
What did they say?
Barbara just fully reprimanded me live on the show to everybody in America. To talk down to me and say, we have to learn how to discuss this. Like
you were not crazy. You got to come back up.
45 seconds.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough. I've been there. I've had meltdowns, and then I've had to, the show must go on.
I wish the microphones were recording some of your meltdowns.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad they weren't. Oh, yeah.
Or video cameras following us to the office as you've locked yourself in there, refusing to come out.
Yeah, it's been a beating. So as much as I want to laugh at this, I know where she was at. Whether or not, she was in the right or in the wrong or anybody gave her a heart, that doesn't, your brain is telling you that the world hates you. And then but you also have the fear of like, I got to get back out there, but I don't want to get back out there. And you feel like, oh man, it's a beating.
Could you imagine if they then brought her back out there and they played back the audio and said, hey, so during the break,
we would have done that.
Elizabeth had this to say.
That's something we would have done.
Yes.
Yeah, we would have done that. Oh man, what would have happened if they did that? But they've been sitting on this for 13 years. Whoever had this audio.
Well, I think there's like a book coming out. So I would imagine they've held it and then they realized they had it. So what a great way to promote the book coming out.
Of course they did.
Then putting out this audio.
I wonder how she feels about all this. I don't know. It's the property of that. I mean, see, look, I have a hard time with this, especially, when they got the president and Billy Bush, on mic being idiots. I feel badly that people are recorded without their knowledge. We're all idiots at times in our life when we think that, we're in a private moment where we get to vent. And I think it sucks that audio can be released. I really, really do. I mean, and of course, I'm playing it, so I'm as big of a hypocrite as anybody.
Yeah, way to go, hypocrite.
I mean, I really am. There's no doubt about it, and I enjoyed hearing it. But I do have empathy for her, and even for the president for having to,
I don't feel bad. If someone's being a douche, mic's on or off, if then they just have to deal with the repercussions. They should have maybe been wiser not to say those things.
You don't think that? I mean, you don't think there's things that you've said that, thank God there was no microphone on?
Nothing on the lines of, nothing that would be cost me my job.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've said things I think would cost me my job just because I'm an idiot.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well,
not that I know of, man. Maybe
good for you. I mean, honestly,
for all I know, maybe I did say something that, I don't think is that big of a deal, but then played in front of a group of people that you're probably right. I don't feel like I have. I try and be very cautious of those kind of things, but, I don't remember every single thing I've said. But
hanging in the locker room with your boys playing hockey.
Yeah, we say inappropriate stuff, but never to nothing that,
good for you.
Nothing that I would be like, dude, don't ever repeat that I said that. I always think about those things in the back of my mind, like, okay, even if I'm having fun chopping it up with my buddies, I'm not going to go down that road.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm all about gallows humor.
Yeah.
See, I'm all about...
There's a difference between gallows humor, I think, and then just straight up being awful.
I've seen a guy get in trouble for gallows humor because somebody overheard it and they tried to get him fired. We were hanging out. We did not know anybody was within earshot to be able to hear what he was saying. And look, what he was saying was horrific, but again, it was in a joking fashion. I know this person. I would never suspect this person to actually do some of the things that the gallows humor conversation was about. But, you vent, you steam, you say stuff, just it's complete. And people who are in the doctor's profession, medical profession, they know what I'm talking about. Anybody who's a policeman, fireman, where you need to vent because you see such just crap all day and negative emotions. But if you ever recorded some of their conversations, they would not want that to happen because people just wouldn't understand. They're just venting. They don't really mean these things, especially some of the gallows humor that can be used.
And I think someone is if I worked in a stuffy place, like a bank or something. There are plenty of things I've said that, but like with what we do for a living, I think I've said dumber things on the air than I say when the mics aren't on.
Well, you know what? Having been, around you on and off the air, yes, I would support that statement.
I think the stuff I say in front of a microphone is way dumber than the stuff I say when the microphone's not on.
Vicky and I have conversations that I feel like we get in trouble for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and even though we both are like, this is cool.
With this job?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, all the time.
Like off air.
I don't think I've ever heard you guys say anything that I felt was all over the line.
Okay,
You don't know my nickname that he gave, that I gave myself.
See, you know what?
That's a curse.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is,
That
that's
doesn't
the thing.
seem like a big
you
deal.
don't realize that the stuff you're doing probably is bad. See,
That's what I said. I mean, if I worked at a bank, yes, I probably would get fired for some of the stuff I say off the air. But working in radio,
Vicky's nickname that I gave her, forget about it. I'm in trouble. There's no doubt about it.
it's a nice nickname. It's meant with love. It's just a bad word.
I remember a nickname that you had for somebody one time.
It's very similar.
You would get in trouble for that.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I'm saying. If somebody had a microphone,
Yeah.
you're like, hey, let me talk to my nickname friend, you'd be done.
That's a good point.
Oh, wow. I can't.
Oh,
I don't know what to say to that.
I know, you just made BJ speechless.
I said I say stupid stuff on the air when the mic's on. So
Yeah,
here's another
that's
example.
another.
I agree with you, Jeff.
You're right. All right, I got to talk about this. Look, I'm over 50 years old, and yeah, man.
Really?
I know, hard to believe. I just called a friend recently, and we actually Facebook messaged, and I haven't heard from him in a while. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? And he says, well, I'm dealing with age discrimination. I can't get a job. This guy was he was basically the big guy in charge of a very big organization here in our area.
YouPorn.
Not YouPorn. I didn't know YouPorn was from here. Oh.
I don't know. I assume they might be.
But this was, I'm trying to be really vague. I don't want the guy to get in trouble.
Gotcha.
Just in case, but he was a guy. He was the big guy at a place. And now, he's in his 70s. He's so close to 70. He's 10 years older than me. So actually, he's like 69 years old.
Nice,
yeah, great age. And he says he can't get a job. And I'm like, you're one of the smartest guys I know. How, if you want to work, I can't believe you can't work. And he's like, age discrimination. And I thought, really? And I'm thinking, because I haven't experienced that yet in my life, as far as I know. But I mean, I'm like, wow, if it happens to this guy, maybe it's a thing.
When I was younger, my dad got laid off. He had a hard time finding a new job to the point where he ended up having to change careers and found a whole new way of living, with real estate appraisal. But before that, he was doing something where it was kind of like a middle management job. And once he lost it, nobody was hiring him, and it was and they all said, "Oh, you're just too qualified," which he felt was another way of them saying he's too old, to take these jobs that they feel that might be beneath someone his age. And he's just like, "I don't care. I need to work. Like, don't not, you're not hiring me because you feel like I am too old or too seasoned for this job, but I'm willing to take it because I need work. I need to provide for my family."
And it's not so much an ageism thing. It's like, oh, you're too old. It's that if you're older, you had a certain amount of pay because you've worked for so many years, your pay got to however much it was. So when you go to this new job, they don't want to pay you that amount. They would rather pay someone younger who has less experience a whole lot less.
Well, that's not what Steve is saying.
Yeah.
But I wish they would give that person that amount.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would give that person the opportunity to say yes or no to it. But I think some people just assume, well, you're this age, you're this much experience. Yeah. You don't want to. It would be insulting to offer you what we were going to offer you. But my dad's like, I need something. I don't know what it is, but. It just he felt that it was because of his age.
It's a tough one because I think Vicky may be right some of the times, and I think your dad is right. I think it's discrimination because this article I'm reading is saying that now more than a quarter of the people who are over age 50 say they have faced discrimination because of their age, which I wouldn't believe was a thing.
I was curious. I was wondering if there's anything that you feel like you've been treated differently because of how old you are.
I never get carded.
They're discriminating you.
Well, I know legally they're supposed to.
But what did they say? If you look like you're younger than 30, we're going to card you.
Yeah, and there are other places I've been to that tell a person, we have to card you. There's nothing. And
I think they're willing to take a good chance on you.
Yeah, and
me. I mean, I don't remember last time. I only get carded when I'm with like some of my hockey buddies, and they're all like, some of them are 27, 28 years old. They look like someone that they should be carding, and then they just kind of throw me a bone because it's awkward.
Yeah,
maybe they're just like, look at your ID too, and I'm like.
Yeah.
Just, come on, man. Let's stop playing.
It does get a little awkward. Usually if you're old enough, you're like, okay, I'm not going to take the time. I'm busy to check your ID. I know you're old enough. But then I had one gal we were trading, and she was very adamant, like, I need to check everyone's ID. I don't want to mess this up. She checked an older person's ID. They didn't have it. And he's clearly like in his 50s. And he got all butthurt. She's like, well, legally, I can't serve you. Now that I know that you don't have an ID, I can't serve you. And he went off on her. And she was like the sweetest little thing. She's like, I'm just doing my job. I'm so sorry. Is this my fault? It's like, no, you did your job. Like, I wouldn't have done that, but...
That guy's got a problem if he's that upset about it.
It's like, come on.
Well,
babe.
if you need your alcohol.
That's what I mean. That's the problem I think he has.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Carry their ID on them, though. Like, what if you, like, something
when
happens
you're old,
to
you forget things when you're old.
Oh, okay,
that's the
what
other
it
thing
is.
that happens,
Nudists.
Yeah. I haven't...
kept, keep it in a fanny pack or something?
Well, it depends what you're talking about, your definition of fanny and pack. Yes. This recent study said that people over 50 reported being unfairly treated in stores, restaurants, and hospitals, as well as generally being looked down on because they were older. I haven't had that happen. I feel like everywhere I've gone to do business, I feel like it's okay. But I also know that when you engage people friendly, in a friendly fashion, I will say this.
Okay.
And it hasn't happened, but my wife and I have had this conversation. She is living in a place in California where they want young people to live there. And my wife is not a younger person. She's in her 50s. And everybody at this place is what you'd expect in Orange County. All of the folks that run this apartment, you go in, the management where they want to sign you up, they look like they came off the runway. And they rotate these people. And for the most part, they are all women. But even the guys that are there look like they came off the runway. And they can't be more than 30, none of them. And they really get younger people in there. And then when we go in, I don't feel like we get treated the same way that some of the younger people get treated in the pretty apartment building.
Some geriatric gentrification going on here.
I think so, because there were a lot of older people that lived in this joint, and they're not there anymore.
So they're just trying to phase you guys out.
Well, I wonder. And I know my wife, being older, she's like, they should do this, they should do that. And I go, look, do you like this place? You have to understand, younger people tolerate a lot more BS than older people do. Mm-hmm. And if you like this place, we got to come at it in a different way. We can't be those old cranky people, because have you looked around? There are no more old cranky people. Everywhere you go, it's all young people. We're the oldest ones in this joint now. So I want to be more like the lovable grandfather to these folks that work there, and not the cranky old man who they can't wait to phase out of the building.
Well, then you need a bag full of Werther's candies to hand out to the young whippersnappers.
I'm way ahead of you, Steve.
Oh, yeah?
How are you, sweetie? Would you like a candy?
You got to be even cooler, and just hand out Molly or whatever these young kids are doing these days.
Stepping it up.
On these levels
0 to 100.
Yeah, wow.
Right? Isn't that what all the kids doing?
Isn't there like a Milky Way, perhaps a happy medium I can give these people?
No,
straight up Molly.
Molly's keto, right? So all these kids are doing keto.
Oh, gosh. All right, yeah. That's what it is, Steve. I got to tell Kathy, you're not handing enough Molly to these people. That's what's going on.
A bag of pills.
Yeah. So I haven't really experienced it completely yet, but this one place in California, I'm seeing it. And I will say, if I'm not dressed a particular way and I am a little older, I do feel like sometimes some stores down there. Here, in Seattle, everybody's cool to everybody.
Yeah, I don't really get that vibe that anywhere that you go in Washington, you're going to walk in if you're older and people are going to look at you like you're weird, Maybe like if you walked into a high school and you have a child, that'd be odd. But who's doing that?
Yeah, it's
like, for more often than not, like I don't think anyone really cares here. Restaurants or the only place I ever felt like I was like kind of looked at weird was when I went to one time one of those fancy like younger people clothes place, like the Abercrombies.
Oh yeah,
and it was just like I walked in and I just kind of got that look. And I'm just like, I don't want to be here either, man. Here with my wife, she wanted something here. This is the last place I want to be, too.
Oh, that's why I'll go, like, when I want to go buy Vans, I got to bring Sarah. So it looks like Dad's shopping for his kid. And then, of course, I go, hey, would you give me some of these? And they always look at me and go, oh, you want some too? Yeah. I go, yeah, I would. She's just a decoy. I'm really the one that wants to buy these things.
Some of those places, I feel like I'm doing reverse discrimination. I just wish they would just shut up and stop being so young and full of energy, like the Zoomies and the Hot Topics, where they just really want to be like, hey, dude, what's going on, man? Like, they're like being super fun.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I just want my shoes, man. I don't want to have this
I don't want to conversation.
Have fun.
Yeah, I just like just don't bring me to the orthopedics. It's not the first thing I'm looking for, people. Okay, that's all I ask. That's all I ask when I walk into a shoe store.
I get it. Buy one, get one free, and you get a sticker. I don't want any of that stuff.
Oh, you don't want a sticker?
No.
The stickers are the best part.
How about some Molly? We've got some Molly for you. There you go. Some old guy came in and handed it all out to us.
He said he was out of Werther's.
Yeah, so here you go. All right, we got to tell you about this bear that broke into somebody's car. Why did the bear break into somebody's car? Well, of course, to get gummy bears. Yeah, I'll tell you all about this at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Got a hungry bear completely destroyed the interior of a family's car in Colorado. This woman who's named Kate, and she's talking about how she discovered what had lured the bear into her vehicle in the first place.
Gummy bears. So, his own kind, I guess. I looked in, I was like, oh my God, what is going on? It's like, did someone break into my car? I'm really shocked that the seats are so intact, but the boards are just completely torn apart. It's shocking.
Wow. So, left the car open or something? The bear was, that's what I don't know enough about this story to know, how'd the damn bear get in the car?
Well, according to, there's a wildlife expert that says that bears can figure out how to open up doors.
Come on.
Bears are going to start emerging from their winter slumber, and they're going to be hungry and looking for food. If you think you're right in the middle of town, it doesn't mean you're necessarily safe. Bears can wander through the cities and get deep into the heart of town where maybe you wouldn't think you would see one. So lock your cars, roll up your windows for it, and again, keep those smelly attractants out of your cars.
Oh, okay, Vicky, we have to keep you out of our car. Can't have any smelly attractives.
All right.
Yeah, so who should we be more afraid of now? AI or bears?
Oh, yeah, you're afraid of Skynet and now bears.
I've always had issues with bears.
Yeah.
You hear all those stories that I'm showing up in people's backyards and stuff.
So she must have left her door open and didn't lock it because you figured it was going to get in.
Or it opened just a little bit of a crack.
Oh, yeah.
Just the window a little bit, and the bears are like, ooh, I want some of that.
Well, they're strong enough.
Sense of smell.
They have really, really good sense of smells.
They could smell a gummy bear?
Yeah, they can smell food. Those picnic baskets, they can smell them. They sure can.
Regret asking that.
You should have asked about that.
Well, I don't know much about keeping things. I only learned stuff from watching The Neighborhood on that television sitcom. They went camping, the
that's all you know,
one, and they had this crazy tube where they keep all their food in. That would keep it so that the bears can't smell the food.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess there's some kind of it's like this giant thermos container, but you could put food and snacks in there.
Oh, and it's bear proof.
Yeah.
When I went to Yellowstone, they really put the fear of bear into you, and they have those gigantic traps. They're basically just these huge metal containers that are supposed to be bear-proof. And, just seeing those around everywhere is supposed to keep all of your food and everything, because they'll just get into all of your stuff.
It is nuts. It is, it's crazy. In the Wyoming airport, just outside trash barrels that are bear-proof. They're I've never seen anything like it, because they go, the bears will come up in the airport. The bears come to the airport?
Well, they got flights to catch.
Yeah.
You off! Ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
That's how you get rid of a bear.
Some people love that kind of living. I got news for you. I don't want to be that deep. I don't mind visiting that deep, but get me the hell out of there.
Have you ever been face to face? Not face to face, but within striking distance of a bear?
No.
No, I don't know if I can handle that. I would soil myself.
I
would, man. Danny, have you?
No, just outside of the zoo, but no.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then I get a little nervous.
Up in my family owns land in northern New Mexico, and there's a lot of bears up there. And so there was one time that my grandpa got a call that a bear broke into his station in the middle of the night, and he had to go and handle it and get the bear out with the wildlife people. And that just scared me hearing that story.
Vicky, have you ever?
I haven't. I'm trying to think, because I did one of those when I was younger where you drive around and the animals can come close to you, but they're usually not anything bad.
Northwest Trek.
Yeah, I think I did that as a kid.
Yeah, like a bison. I've had a bison. I've been. I saw a bison in the road, right, and I could get out and pet him, but I was like, I'm not going to do it.
But it's not a bear.
No, it's not. But bison, if they start charging at you. So that's why I was like, I'm not going to get out and pet that guy.
I've seen a different kind of bear in Capitol Hill, but I don't think that's what we're talking about.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've been face to face with them a lot.
Yeah, they're
very friendly.
Especially when you pet them.
They like
not all of them, Steve.
I like to hug them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone Dave just sent me a message on Facebook saying bears are thought to have the best sense of smell of any animal on Earth. The average dog's sense of smell is 100 times better than a human. A bloodhound's 300 times better. A bear's sense of smell is 7 times better than a bloodhound's, or 2,100 times better than a human.
Damn,
dude. Wow. Makes me think that then why if we don't I wonder if that bear, I don't know how smelly bear spray is, but I wonder if part of it is an odor thing that just makes them want to get the hell out because they're so sensitive.
Could be just too intense.
Yeah, because with that kind of intense schnoz, you got to be thinking anything seriously, get the makeup counter at Nordstrom. That should get them out of there.
The thing is
fart on them then.
I wish that would have worked.
Oh, Rev, yeah, we'll bring Rev.
Yeah, right. No, the bear spray was made because the dude got attacked by a bear. They had actual mace. They unleashed the entire can of mace on the bear and it did nothing. That's why bear mace was invented.
And apparently it's made with capsaicin, which is like the spice what's in chili peppers, like the really, really spicy stuff. So that's what's in bear mace.
Oh, so I can just give him my pad thai and I'll be good enough?
Yeah, it has to be 5 stars, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn, dude.
So he says a grizzly does not require your door to be unlocked. They'll just bust through your windows and climb right in.
Okay, then.
Another person says, when I was a kid in Alaska, we used to go to the dump to watch bears.
Wow.
I was so glad I had video games when I was a kid. I never thought of doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think we didn't have bears in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, Sarah Palin talked about that, right? Didn't she have bear, bear sightings all the time? I think I remember when I watched stuff about Sarah Palin back in the day.
I remember they had moose burgers. That's about all I remember.
Oh yeah, they did have the moose burgers too. They were good. Well, it was good. They looked like they were good. I've never had a moose burger. I've had a deer burger, but yeah,
I've never had a moose burger. I'm willing to try it though.
Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with regular.
Is there anywhere around here that sells good moose burgers?
That's a good question.
I don't want to have to prepare it myself.
No, you need it done by a professional.
Right, with French fries and a shake.
Of course.
The only place that I knew was up in Finney Ridge, but they're closed down now, the courthouse.
Oh, no more moose burgers?
Yeah, I don't know where else they are.
Oh.
I'm looking.
Oh, Canada.
All right, fair enough.
That's about it.
So he says, I got charged by a buffalo at Yellowstone Park when I was 10 years old while I was looking at bears with the family.
Oh, no.
Also, the bear distracted you, and then the buffalo came.
Yeah, that's the secret.
They're in cahoots.
Those bison, man, you don't mess with them. That's why I was worried they come smashing the car. But, apparently it was okay, just to sort of, you just, they leave you alone, you leave them alone, apparently.
How about this person says, I saw a minivan that had its sliding door peeled back like a sardine can. Someone left food in there, and the grizzly smelled it.
Wow, they're strong. Damn, dude. I got to remember that. I don't think I'm
For when you're going to go head-to-head with a bear?
For some reason, I know they're dangerous, but I don't feel like they're dangerous because of all the damn, cute bears that have been on shows.
Like
Yogi.
Yeah.
No, man. That bear's going to eat you.
I keep thinking of Baloo, you know what I mean? It's just like the bare necessities. I feel the guy's going to start singing with me and hanging out.
No, he will not.
Yeah, he won't. So, I think I'll stay in the city. There's a New Jersey woman that thought that she had a real bad bout from food poisoning. So it was bothering the hell out of her. I tell you this story, why do we care about Patricia and her food poisoning? Because she was sick and she was up all night. Because it's a real story that we never believe is true. She wasn't suffering from food poisoning. She had a baby. Dude.
Whoa.
That is legit my biggest fear.
One day you're just going to be like, I don't feel good. You hit the bathroom and then you're like, whoop.
Yes, there's a show.
There's a little baby.
There's
Mickey.
a show called, I didn't know I was pregnant. I watched those, and some of those women had been pregnant previously, and their pregnancies are very different. And then, boom, one day they're like, hey, here's a baby in the toilet.
How crazy is that for 9 months you didn't have any notice of any symptoms that made you think you were pregnant? Did you not see that you were gaining weight?
Well, some people just either didn't gain weight around their stomach because not everyone does, or they were already a little chubby, so they couldn't tell.
That's
Maybe they just
amazing.
fell off the wagon and it's like, screw it, I'm going to keep eating.
That's exactly what happened to this woman, Vicky. She went to the toilet and all of a sudden the baby came sliding out.
No!
Yeah.
That would weird me out because I'm not a woman. That'd be odd if a baby came out.
Yeah.
I'd have to call a couple doctors for that. But that would be insane.
And she and her husband said they had no clue a baby was on the way. She had no major symptoms of pregnancy. Well, see, I don't know enough about it. I thought that once you were pregnant, Aunt Flo didn't come visit you for a few months.
Some people
don't have regular periods.
Yeah, some people don't.
Oh, that's right.
Or sometimes if you've been on birth control for long enough that you don't get them.
Oh, see, that's the thing then. Mm-hmm. So birth control is messing up a lot of people with what they would normally be able to see as a sign of something's up.
Right. Or I've had girlfriends who maybe get it twice a year, and that's just normal for them, and they're totally fine.
Wow.
Dude, I'm nuts. I'm looking at the story, and apparently, this past year's been rough for her because and that's why she also thinks maybe I didn't notice because I've been grieving the loss of my father. So for a year, she's been battling that. She gave birth to the child on March 28th, which is the 1-year anniversary of her father passing.
Whoa, that's trippy.
Yeah, so they named the boy after her dad, which is William James.
Oh,
that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a crazy story, but what a cool ending.
See, I would be thinking of like the reincarnation thing. I'd be thinking like, okay, I didn't know I was pregnant. Well, some people believe that.
Dad's coming back, but I'm coming through you.
Yeah, as a kid, like he comes back as your kid.
I kind of subscribe to that.
Some people believe in that whole thing. I mean,
I've got some weird stuff in my family, but I was born 4 years to the day of my grandfather's passing.
So the dad died, and then for the next 3 months he negotiates.
Yeah,
to come back as.
In some cultures, you have to come back. Like depending upon your karma, you have to come back.
And he just wanted to be sly about it, so he didn't give her any signs of pregnancy, and just waited until the day that the year anniversary was passing, and decided, you know what, that's not you having to go number 2.
Surprise! What a great father. Think about it. She didn't have the typical symptoms of pregnancy, so she didn't have the morning sickness. She didn't have all the pain. She obviously wasn't even in pain of contraction. She thought it was just food poisoning, and so it was quick. There he was, done. Probably the easiest pregnancy you can have if you don't know you're pregnant.
Somebody even said, my friend had been suffering from what she thought was thyroid issues. She kept she had a pregnancy test taken, and it was negative 3 months ago. She had a baby at 30. She had no clue.
So did she go to a doctor for the pregnancy test, or did they do one of those kits? Because those kits aren't always accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go see. You know what? If I'm a woman and I'm gaining weight and there's something going on in my gut, I am not going to think it's. I'm going to always go check it out.
Yeah,
go, doctor, am I pregnant? I mean, that's the first thing I think I do. Wouldn't you? First, I mean, if I all of a sudden was changed into a woman, I would.
I take a pregnancy test every morning. Just me,
just in case.
Yeah. You just never know.
I mean, I wouldn't leave the house because I'd cost myself a lot. But still, after that, damn.
What a happy surprise. I mean, unless you don't want a kid, then it's a really...
I think you need 9 months preparation to know that you have that kid coming.
That is rather like 0 to 100 now.
Exactly.
Now we got to go buy stuff. We got to get the house set up.
Yeah.
But then you don't have any of those fears of, okay, I hope this baby's going to survive, or any of that stress.
Well, you got that.
Well, you got all these other stress, because if you didn't know you were pregnant, you were probably drinking, you know, smoking maybe. So you have all that stress now.
Yeah, the drinking and the smoking.
Plus, baby stuff is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Because recently we had to buy a few things. Luckily, we've gone through a lot of buy nothing group.
For little Stevie?
For little Prince Steve.
Oh, Prince Steve.
That's what we changed.
Oh, is that his name, Prince Steve now?
Yes, we changed the foster baby we're taking care of's name to Prince Steve.
Prince Steve.
Oh, I didn't know this happened.
Yes, legally his name is Prince, and middle name is Steve. That's how it works.
We fleshed this out at the Mariners game. You were a little drunk.
I was a little drunk. Oh.
Sober people came up with a very important
So you like Prince.
Sober.
You guys chose Prince over Blanket. I thought Blanket was a better name. Okay, fine.
Well, no, because I'm the king. So
okay, fine.
This is our prince.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, that's
it. All makes sense.
None of it makes sense, Vicky.
Yeah.
But yeah, buying like just the crib and little things like that.
Yeah.
Formula is stupid expensive.
Yep.
Luckily, because he's a foster kid, we get help with that. But it's like $17 a can, and that could go through a couple cans a week.
See, that's why, Vicky, you need to be a wet nurse. How come you didn't get volunteer for that?
What's the formula for?
What?
Food.
Oh,
yeah, milk.
Baby's food.
So I'm not producing any food for him. I didn't have him.
Imagine Steve
if they pumped that out.
Imagine if this was
the boob, right?
No,
that's breast milk. Formula is for when you don't want to breastfeed.
So some people can't breastfeed, or like my cousin, her daughter had like a weird palate. Her mouth was kind of weird, so the nipple wouldn't fit in her mouth correctly. So they had to breastfeed her. Or they couldn't breastfeed her.
Yeah, Steve's nipple just doesn't go in right.
Yeah,
man.
So they have to. Yeah, formulas.
I just
pricey.
love how that was like the most innocent.
Formula for what?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
He's a scientist.
So imagine Steve if that was his wife and she's like, oh my gosh, here's the baby. I didn't know I was pregnant. And now Steve's a father and he doesn't even know what the hell formula is. This would be the biggest disaster ever if you didn't at least have 9 months to prepare.
No, you just can't take the boob and go.
Take the boob and go.
You can't take the boob.
Yeah.
All right, then you get a milk.
Oh my God, Steve.
Well, it's the special milk that's like $17 for this little can.
You need time.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
It's expensive.
You're going to need to know, Steve. You can't. This can't happen to you. You need your 9 months to figure it out.
Why can't you just use soy milk or something?
Again, you're going to need 9 months.
You're not going to like those diapers you'll have to change.
Oh, is that what's up?
It's just they get a lot of their nutrients from just the milk, and soy milk doesn't have everything they need.
That's a fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair.
That's a fair. They need their vitamin D.
What about cow milk? Is that not good?
No.
No, not really. No.
You have to have the formula.
Yeah, besides the nipples don't fit in the right way.
No.
Again.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Cows don't like it.
It smells terrible too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Have you
formula?
Oh yeah.
Like you?
Formula or breast milk?
No, formula.
Oh yeah, we didn't do formula because Kathy was like, you know what?
The boob's free.
I'm making it happen.
Well, that's good. Then
It wasn't free. I had to pay. Joey and Sarah, for crying out loud, I don't know why they got a scholarship. I had to pay.
OMG, what's formula? I can't stop laughing.
They also need these things called diapers, Steve.
What are those?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm tempted to bring Prince Steve into work someday to see how you do with him. Like, change his diaper, feed him.
Oh, Steve, like you need an excuse to bring that baby anywhere. You'll bring that baby. You don't even like the game with me, but if I said you could bring the baby, you're like,
I was totally down.
And she's like,
I was
here
sitting there
comes the
playing
baby.
cards, holding a baby.
Everywhere she goes, the baby's there. Oh, yeah.
And everyone loves him. I
Do you
think
have
he's
one of
jealous.
those fun, like, front backpack things? Like his front pack?
Baby Bjorn.
Yeah, the Bjorns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are pretty awesome.
Vicky has
I
got
took
the-
him to Comic-Con in that.
Yeah, she's got a bad
Dress him up as like yoga?
No, I dressed him up as
Dress him as
Pikachu.
yoga. I am yoga. Use the tree pose, Luke.
I dressed him up as Pikachu. It was so great.
You okay today, Steve?
Yeah, all right. I'm having a stroke, I think.
I think so. Yeah, you are.
Just kicked in.
All right, good for you, buddy.
He was Pikachu.
All right, that's pretty awesome. Look at little Prince Steve.
Vicky is so, like, this is ridiculous. I mean, it really is.
Come on,
This is
BJ.
biology. I tell everybody about biology. Steve, this is, like, I would never
Glowing, man. Look at her holding that baby.
I know.
with
Here's the
Michelin
thing, he's
Man.
like, you're baby crazy. I brought him to game day, and the first thing he does, how you doing? Hey, little guy.
Well, because you
Mr.
put him in my
Pipper."
face, I'm going to be nice to the little bastard. What am I supposed to do? This little kid.
I didn't even put him in your face. You're like, you got it
I'm like,
bad,
I got a
Vicky.
game over. All of a sudden, Slobby McGee's over there looking at me like, I
That's
don't know
Prince
why I'm
Steve.
here.
Prince
Yeah.
Steve.
And I'm like,
Just like
oh,
the
hey,
king.
how are you, you little son of a...
No, you loved him. I think he keeps
Jesus.
projecting on me because I'm not baby crazy. I'm crazy for this baby,
Okay,
but I don't
Steve?
want any more babies.
Steve,
Yes.
do you think she's a little baby crazy?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, good.
Pull up your photos in your phone. I bet you.
Say.
Yeah, you're baby
How many
crazy.
photos there, Vicky?
I don't know.
Hold on.
I bet you have more pictures of that little guy than I have of my dog, which is scary.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let's see.
Oh my God, dude! All it is pictures of the baby.
Well, to be fair, I just got a new phone, so
Oh,
these
to
are
be
all-
fair, yeah.
Look how perfect those pixels are.
You know
man.
what? You are a slave to biology. I'm going to tell you that right
And
now.
technology.
Yeah.
Oh,
Biology and technology.
Took pictures of the
Baby
woods.
crazy.
More importantly, how many board games did the baby win?
Technically, I won with him, so he's good luck.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
I wouldn't want to bring a baby anywhere.
Do you have any incriminating photos? I mean, I'm looking at your
no.
pictures, and I'm a little worried
I
that
have-
something might pop up.
I just deleted
As
all
it
my
were.
horrible memes.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Apparently she went to a sausage festival. Look at that
Yeah,
picture.
look at that.
Okay, there's a lot of pictures of that baby.
Yeah,
she's
there is.
baby crazy.
Oh, she's wicked baby crazy.
So when are you going to start getting a little Prince Steve, a little buddy?
Little buddy.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Is it brother? Is it
I'm thinking my
son?
If
Like, what's going on with this right now? Do you know?
If the process kind of works out to where we get a chance to adopt him, it looks like it's probably going to be my folks adopting him. It makes more sense. Mom
Yeah.
and dad. I don't have a significant other, so that's why they would adopt him.
Plus, they're the ones that are more responsible. Who knows how long you're going to have this job? You're probably going to quit to make a baby. You're so baby
No,
crazy.
I want to be pregnant whenever I do have kids. I want to be pregnant on this show and have you guys suffer.
And give birth to it live on the air.
Yeah. I mean, wait. No.
Can I skip that show?
Yeah.
I've been present for 2 live births, and I really don't want to see Vicky go through that.
That's actually true. I don't want to be here either.
I was going to say, I'm like,
in.
when I have a baby, who's in?
I'm in.
Yes.
No, Steve, you can do the play-by-play.
Oh, I'm not doing. No, I'm like going over the shoulder view.
Yeah,
I ain't
exactly.
Going, I
Well, no,
know.
someone's got to be on the scene.
Why?
That's like whoever made help me make the baby.
They made me have to go on the scene. I had to be there.
Times have changed, BJ.
Yeah.
Oh, times have changed. That's what I'm
Video game
saying.
culture has changed. It's now POV views.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. I appreciate that.
I don't want to be a third-person shooter.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that was a thing. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
In what century was the original Star Trek set?
21st. No.
19.
No.
19th century.
20th. No.
Yes, in the 19th century, Captain Kirk and all of the colonials were running around in the 19th century.
I don't have an answer.
That would be the 1800s.
I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm aware.
Okay, good job, buddy. Yeah.
So what's this formula thing we're talking about?
First of all, it's the 23rd century. Not that you should know that, but I mean, it sure as hell wasn't the 19th. Yeah. No, that doesn't take a nerd to know that science fiction, space, the final frontier wouldn't be the 1800s, since they made the show in the 1900s.
Don't need to be so angry about it, man.
All right, good. You want a shot at beating Steve? Bring him some formula. This show. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to see my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Keeping up with the flood of news every single day can be quite stressful. There is climate change happening. There's the pandemic, labor movements, Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend. Hi, I am Gideon Resnick, host of Crooked Media's What a Day. Each week, Travelle Anderson, Priyanka Arabindi, Josie Duffy Rice, and I are going to break down the biggest news stories of the day in a way that hopefully doesn't always make you want to cry. New episodes of What a Day drop every weekday at 5 a.m. Eastern. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.